What's going on? Welcome to But Did You Die Though? Confessions of a Widow. I'm your girl comedian Carmen Barton coming to you live from Ghetto Girl Studios in Inglewood, California. And this is episode 5. Let's go. It didn't kill me, but it made me stronger though, because I asked myself, did you die though? Yeah. Confessions of a Widow.
Yeah. Trying to piece it back together, I've been stressing. I ain't been the same since I lost my best friend. My thoughts is crowded, don't know what to do about it. So I figure I should sit down and talk about it. Weight of the world on my shoulders, but still I go hard. So I created a session called the Report Card. 4 C's and 2 F's, the C stands for comedy, cooking, crafting, and Christianity. The 2 F's is fashion and fitness. Then I do the comical confessions to tell you all of my business. They ask me how am I doing and I can't lie though. Yeah, damn near killed me. But did you die though? Confessions of a widow. But did you die though? Confessions of a widow. But did you die though? Nope. But did you die though?
It didn't kill me, but it made me stronger though, because I asked myself, did you die though? Yeah. Confessions of a Widow. So, first of all, I am super overwhelmed and excited about all of the positive feedback that I have been getting. And I'm just going to have a very honest moment. Doing this podcast is much more than I thought it would be, because it's taken me down memory lane where I have to sit and talk about my issues. And then after I talk about them, then we have to edit. And I have to go find the pictures of my husband with him looking sexy. And I'm trying to find the picture that nobody has seen. And I don't want to show too much on the picture. And it has just taken me a lot to get to where I am now. So we're into September now. This might not even air until October now. But we're getting into those winter, fall, times where things are really sad and things are, can be depressing. The weather can trigger. There's so many things that can trigger, and I've just been triggered. And so we're going to just talk about triggers. So in episode 1, I reminded you guys about how irresponsible I am when I'm feeling bad and how I go on these crazy shopping sprees. And sometimes it's the Dollar Tree and sometimes it's the Beverly Center. Well, I done it again, y'all. My love for fashion and my financial ability has landed me back in these malls. And I think that it's important that we remember to be responsible when we're grieving, because widow brain is real. So today we're going to be talking about widowism and a lot of things that happen to widows. And I know that everyone watching is not a widow, but maybe you know a widow you can forward this to, or maybe you can somehow apply this to your own life and it can help you. One of the best things that I did was early into my widowhood, like 3 months in, I went to widow camp. And when I went to widow camp, it was just such a life-changing experience for me. And I think that that's probably what gave me a huge jump start into facing my issues, because we talked about things and I learned things in widow camp that I just used 3 weeks ago. And I went to widow camp 4 years ago. There's so much information. It could be overwhelming, but I definitely have to give widow camp a shout out and a credit for helping me. And so y'all like, well, what's widow camp? Widow camp is an organization. And I think it was originally, they're under the umbrella of Soaring Spirits. And I reached out to them. Oh goodness. I think my husband had died. I was probably like maybe a month in, or maybe 3 weeks in, something like that, crazy. And so they were having a widow camp in San Diego, like a couple of weeks from the time that I discovered them and contacted them, and I was able to financially go, and I scheduled and I made it. And I'm going to be honest, it really changed my life. It really did. And I want to give a shout out to Soaring Spirits and the whole Widow Camp organization, especially Sade, who was the first one that contacted me. She has a very difficult job because when the widows sign up, she's like the first point of contact. And that's so scary because it's kind of weird because you have to initially make sure that they really are a widow because it's crazies out there. And it's just so sensitive having to kind of like bring them in and welcome them in. And so when I went to widow camp, one thing that I learned was to the key to avoiding a certain level of depression and a certain level of anxiety and a certain level of wanting to give up. I can't think of the right words all the time, but you know, there's certain avenues that you can take to avoid those. And one of the avenues that that they discussed and taught was kind of finding yourself, you know, finding yourself and setting goals for yourself, and everything is all split up. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, if you're watching this, I want you to try to contact the Widow Camp organization and Soaring Spirits. And I'm going to definitely leave the info in the notes because they gave you so much encouragement and they gave me so much hope. And it was a lot of information and it was a lot of stuff. And I met people that I still keep in contact with. They have different seminars. Sometimes they split you, you know, between when your husband died or when your spouse died. It's not just for women, it's for men as well, but definitely spouse or significant other. Because my husband died 4 years ago. I'm not going to be on the same path as someone who just lost their husband 6 months ago. And so some of the classes they have designed, you know, are specific to how long you have been in widowhood. And you know me, I went into the widow camp just breaking all the rules. They like, this is the class for if you're between 4 and 5 years into widowhood. But the girl that was teaching the class was like, had a cute little outfit, and I met her, you know, doing one of the meeting places, and she, you know, and I was like, I'm gonna go to her class, you know, because I don't gotta, you know, follow these rules. I can go to whatever class I want to go to. I pay my money, so I go to the little class. They in there talking about dating, and I'm all like, oh my God, these filthy whores. How dare you be talking about dating and your husband is dead? Like, and it was like, I didn't belong in that class. So I kind of feel bad that a lot of people are on different parts of their widowhood journey, and they're watching me, and I'm talking about how when I had sex, you know, after my husband died, I'm talking about all of this stuff because I'm so far in, and then I'm making jokes about, you know, my mom was so mad at me after episode 1 when I chose the promo clip to be talking about how I know my husband wouldn't have waited on me. He would have got some right when I died. She was like, I don't like that, and no, he wouldn't have done that. And I'm like, Ma, you gotta relax, it's a joke, you know what I'm saying? But everybody don't want to hear that. So I joke, and I have a different sense of humor, and I'm deep into my widowhood, so I may not be everybody's get down, you know, but my whole point and purpose is to encourage and to inspire you. And so and to help you realize that at the end of the day, you did not die. And so you got to do whatever you want to do or whatever you need to do to keep yourself pushing forward. I met a widow in DC, and although she was, you know, years into her widowhood, you know, I think maybe 3 years, she's having a very, very difficult time. And after she heard my material on stage, she came up to me and we talked, we connected. And one thing that I've been kind of telling her and keeping on her about is trying to find something that you can do to honor your husband. You know, this particular widow had children, and when her husband died, her children were like 4 years old, and like, I think her daughter was like 18 months old. Very, very young children. Her husband was very young. She's very young. And so the challenges that she's facing is just unimaginable. She's just having a really difficult time. And so she was telling me about how, you know, she, you know, feels bad for her children because they don't have their father. And she's a daddy's girl. I can relate. I'm a daddy's girl. And she just was like, oh, my poor children don't have their dad. And she talked about how she wanted to do some type of organization to help these children who are struggling with losing a parent. And so I'm just encouraging her and trying to tell her, yeah, you can do it. Go pick a name, maybe put your husband's name in the title of the business. And so that, you can continuously honor him and keep his memory alive. And at the same time I'm doing that, I feel bad because I feel like I am not doing that. I have the podcast now. The podcast is about widowhood, but it's not, it's honoring my husband. I use his background. Oh yeah, check out the background. I never did. I forgot. What am I thinking? Check out the background. So I did switch up the background. This time, a brighter, bubblier background. And I'm still going to use my husband's background from time to time because this podcast really is in dedication to him and his hard work. And I'm definitely following his footsteps when he came into this very room, our podcast studio, and he did his podcast faithfully through COVID. He would be on live. It would be like 3 people watching, and 2 of those was his daddy. and so he stuck with it, and that is why I'm sticking with it, because I'm telling y'all, after the first episodes dropped, I was so emotionally drained from having to face the fact that I'm doing this podcast. It's about being a widow. It's a dedication to my husband. I got to keep putting all these pictures out. I got to keep being positive when I don't always have good days, and so one of the things that so I suggest that people go to Widow Camp, and it helps you try to figure out what direction you want to go in. And I'm actually trying to get myself together so that I can speak and be a presenter at the one next year. I got to work on my profanity, and I got to work on my bluntness, because I don't want to run the people away who are in early widowhood. And I'm just inappropriate. So they probably going to be like, bitch, this is not what our company stands for. So I'm working on all of that because I feel like I do have something that I can give to the widow community. And so one of the things that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be gifting. I'm going to be sponsoring people to go, because it's pretty expensive to go. You got to pay for the flight, the hotel, and then to even pay for the program. It's not cheap. And so I remember they have a big little gala at the end of the widow camp, the end of the weekend. And I remember being at the gala, and I remember the founder asking for donations, because that's how they thrive, is off of donations. And she was asking people to donate. And one of the things she said, it stuck with me. It said, there are women who need this program and their husbands haven't even died yet. That was just so deep to me, because 6 months prior, when they was planning everything for this event, me and my husband was laid up in Jamaica. So, that was me. That was me in the pre who needed him, didn't even, my husband wasn't even dead yet. And so part of giving back to the widow community is definitely going to be, giving my services and my gift to Soaring Spirits and Widow Camp Organization. And I definitely want to financially sponsor some women who are unfortunate. So if you are a widow, or if you know a widow, I want you to click the information at the end of the podcast. If you're watching this on some of those podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or ones where you can't see me, I encourage you to go and to look into the podcast notes and go to YouTube and look at it so you can see how cute my background and my outfit is. So we'll be talking about my outfit a lot later. So anyway, I definitely want to sponsor some women. And so I definitely want to hear from, widows who may be interested in going and can't afford to go. And I just know that something good will come from facing your issues and going through it. After the second day, you're so mentally drained from all this information, all these different seminars. Like I said, they split some seminars up with how long you have lost your husband. Some of the seminars are split up how your husband died. There's a specific group that handles women that have lost their women and men. I keep saying women because I'm a widow and that's what my case is, but there are also men there. There are also lots of men who have lost their wives. And so I don't want to exclude the men at all, but my whole point was that they split them up with how they died. You know, if you lost your spouse to suicide, they have a specific group for that because that's a whole different type of grief. You know, if you lost they had one for COVID, they had one for cancer. You know, they had one that was specific to my husband's cause of death, and I did meet some amazing women, and it was just so crazy to hear the stories of exactly what happened to my husband happening to someone else's husband. And when you surround yourself with widows, it really helps you because no matter how much your friends and family love you, they cannot relate to your experience at all. And so one of the best things that you can do is surround yourself with people who can relate to the issues that you have. So Widow Camp definitely helped me. It definitely helped me set goals for myself. It definitely helped me come up with the tenacity to aggressively focus on moving on with my life. A lot of widows, a lot of people who lose their spouses, they suffer from suicidal thoughts, and they want to be with their spouse, they want to be with their husband, and they don't want to live. Now, I never, you know, I remember being in so much pain that I wanted the pain to stop. I never wanted to kill myself, but I wanted to like go to sleep and not even wake up. I used to be so mad when I would wake up. I couldn't really sleep, and then when I would get a couple of, hours of sleep, I would be so mad when I woke up because I would just be in so much pain and agony when I woke up. I just wanted to never wake up. I never really was suicidal. Because I had lost a lot of weight when my husband died, and I had a bunch of cute outfits that I could fit, and I was like, I can't kill myself because I never even got to wear these outfits. So that's the humor I was talking about that you may not be ready for. So I'm not trying to offend nobody, but this is who I am. I'm a comedian, I'm a jokester, and the real me just comes out. Y'all want the real me, right? Y'all don't want no fake heifer. I'm just trying to be me, okay? So I couldn't kill myself because I had too much cute shit in the closet that I needed to wear, and I'm like, I just can't. But that's the real. That's the truth. I never really was suicidal, but some people do go through suicidal thoughts and they want to die. They don't want to live anymore. It's just too painful, and so I think that it's essential to go to a higher power, and y'all know that the report card session has several different things that push me through, and one of those things is Christ. I think one time, I may have said it, used it. I tossed that report card around a little bit. And for those of you who don't know what the report card session is, the report card session is the things in my report card that I go to and that have helped me get through my grief. We call them 4 C's and 2 F's, but lately I've been kind of adding from them and, changing them a little bit. And so, everybody doesn't believe in Christ, and that does not exclude you from needing to heal when you lose a loved one. So one of the F's can be faith. Whatever your faith is, whatever you believe in, whatever your higher power is, whoever you pray to, it's something that you should go to, whatever it may be, if it's, I don't want to disrespect anybody's religion and like making fun, but if it's Buddhism or if it's, whatever it is, a higher power, something coming from a higher power, that definitely helped me. Just praying and staying in my word, and more recently, fasting, asking for things, putting things before the Lord that I want help with, and making sacrifices, via fasting. That's very, very essential. That's very, very essential. Sometimes your kids can keep you going. I think that was one of the downfalls for me because my husband and I didn't have children together. And I always wish that we did. I always wish that I had something, some piece, some part of him that I could hold close to me. And I envied women that had that, because I'm like, well, at least you got your kids. And then you talk to widows that have kids, and they like, that's the hardest part. I got kids. I gotta look at my little mini husband, every day, and it's just frustrating, So, it's no perfect situation when someone loses a loved one, and so, whatever your higher power is, wherever your reason for keeping going is, grasp that. Grab a hold of it. Don't let it go. Keep pushing. I met someone in widow camp that was a therapist. She was a therapist. Her husband and my husband died from the exact same thing. Um, it was just the saddest story. Her husband literally died in her arms. Literally told her, "I'm dying. I love you." And that was the last moments that she had with her husband. She had to quit her job. She had nothing to give to patients. She was a therapist. She could not go and fake the funk and fake like she was whole. But she dedicated herself, continued to dedicate herself to therapy, went back to school. She met all her goals. I'm so proud of her. She met all of her goals, and she did amazing. And so setting goals for yourself. We had to at the end, one of the exercises that we had to do was kind of like write down our goals and what we wanted to be. And like I said, this girl and I really linked up and gravitated because her husband had died in April, and my husband had died in August of the same year that we went to widow camp. And so we was always cool. And so her goal was to finish school and get some top degree, and she achieved that. My goal was to get a Netflix special, and I still ain't got it. I ain't got a Netflix. I ain't got a YouTube. I haven't got shit, but I have y'all, and so I appreciate y'all. But yeah, these other widows smashing their goals, and mine ain't came yet, but it's coming. All of my goals are being smashed. So I just wanted to shout out, widow camp, and I just want to encourage everybody, when you're going through it, find something that can push you forward and to keep you going. One thing that has kept me going is comedy. I can remember having to go on stage, and when my husband first died, I took off work. His funeral was Labor Day weekend, which is what we just passed, Labor Day weekend. And he had two funerals. The New York funeral was Labor Day weekend, the one where his body was there. And it was just the worst weekend ever. It was just terrible. And I flew to New York for the funeral. I flew back home. I guess that Sunday after, the Sunday before. I don't even remember. I just know that it was one of the most difficult flights. It was just a difficult experience. The funeral was just difficult. Everything was just a mess. And so I had like one of my worst days yesterday, because it's Labor Day. I don't like that holiday anymore. It's really difficult for me. And so what I try to do is I try to prepare myself, because I know that I'm going to be fucked up. I know that I'm going to, that weekend is going to be bad for me. I know. So I try to prepare for it. But it's at a point that even when I try to prepare for it, it's not working out for me. And so what I've been doing is I've been shopping, and that's probably not a good thing to do, but I got to do something, And so I wish that I could find something more constructive to do. I wish I could, but I can't. Like I said, it's so I go through extreme moments of loneliness because I'm all alone now. My children are all grown up. They've all moved out. My middle son just purchased a house in St. Louis, and then my oldest son went back to St. Louis, and he just got established in his new apartment. And my daughter is out here in LA, but she has her own life. We're not as close and connected as we were when when my husband died. And so I have my friends, I have my family, but nobody's really in LA. And I be wanting to be at home, I be wanting to be at home. So instead of going, places, I just come home. Sometimes I leave. For Thanksgiving, I went to Miss Pat's house one year. Um, I went to her house for the 4th of July. So I can always travel to my friends wherever they are. My best friend Tina, who's also a griever, who understands the whole process that I'm going through. I spent Christmas with her family. They're my extended family. So it's not that I don't have nobody, but just really not nobody in LA. And I need to probably move and leave here, but I'm just so attached to LA and the weather. I don't know where I would even go. Like I'm not about to shovel no snow and shit. But anyway, so that's one of the things that I do. I shop. It makes me feel better. I did a video about it, and it was a great topic of conversation on Instagram in the comments about how I went to Rodeo Drive and I went shopping in preparation for Labor Day weekend because I knew I was going to be sad. So, and I worked the weekend and I came back on Monday, and I was like, when I get back home, I have all my stuff to unbox and wear, and I'll feel better. But those of you who are real grievers know that feeling only be temporary. And so I'm faced with the task of having to sit and deal with it. Since I've been doing a podcast, my feelings have been much stronger. My feelings of grief have been much stronger. Like I said, I have to film the podcast, talk, encourage people, and then I have to get it edited and look at what I said. I don't even remember what I be saying. And then I have to reach out to people in the comments because I don't want anyone to feel like they're being ignored or they're not valid or anything like that. And so I know that I may be slow getting to a lot of the comments, but trust me, I see you, I'm with you, and I'm going to get to each and every one of you, especially people that be in the comments like, I lost my husband, because I want you to know that you are my sister, and I'm never going to ignore you or leave you out there. And we're going to get through this together. I feel like that is what my purpose now is. That's what my purpose now is, and so that's what I'm here for. So we're going to get into the report card session. I wish if you're struggling to find something constructive to put your energy into and to do when you're grieving, I am too. So when you figure out something that helps you, message me, email me, but did you download podcast at gmail.com and let me know what you figure out, because I don't have all the answers. I'm still figuring things out. I'm a vacationer because I like to run away from my life. I like to run away from my life and my grief. They always said, why cry at home? You could cry in Paris. So I've been to Paris twice since my husband died. It was my dream trip for both of us because it's probably like everybody said the most romantic place, but he didn't want to go there. He like, they ain't got no beaches out there. I don't give a damn about that Eiffel Tower. So I feel good when I go there because I feel like at least I'm not leaving him. But when I travel to tropical places, which I do most of, I feel like I'm leaving him, and I always feel a little sad that he's not with me. But my goal in life is to live the life that I know that he would have loved to live with me. So I do a lot of traveling, and I cry in Paris, I cry in Bali, I cry all over the world. And it's so much better than crying at home. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Crying in Bali is better than crying at home, okay? And the food is much healthier than the food here. So whatever you binge and eat, it's not even gonna go straight to your hips. So yeah, I'm just having a transparent moment, letting y'all know that I don't know what the hell I'm doing out here. I be having bad days. I go shopping and I went and I spend all this money, and then I get home and I still be fucking sad. And I just kind of sit in it, and then I just get over it. And so yesterday was a holiday, and it's like I just had to get over it. And so I have this podcast. I think that God put this podcast into my life. So number one, get me to stop avoiding all of the issues and face them, because I can't help anyone else if I'm suffering. What's that saying on the airplane? Um, if if the thing comes down, put your mask on first before you help someone else. So I'm trying to tell y'all what to do, and I ain't got my mask on. So I'm going to put my mask on, and then I'm going to help y'all put y'all mask on, and we're going to figure this thing out together. But Widow Camp definitely helped me. If I'm not able to go in as a presenter in 2026, I'm definitely going to go again and just kind of do some refreshers, because I'm at a whole different point in my widow journey than I was when I went the first time. And some of the things I still remember, but I could probably use the refresher. So I strongly suggest therapy, going to counseling. I did go through extensive grief counseling. And then remember the guy I told y'all I was dating? We started going to her for our relationship, and he was in there lying, and couldn't figure out that he was lying and was like telling me that I was crazy. So I fired her. And so I haven't been to counseling since, because she was like, you don't have any proof. I'm like, I'm not crazy. And then I ended up getting the tracker and finding out that I wasn't crazy. He was really a lying, cheating scumbag. And he even said her, convince you that he wouldn't. Like, don't you got the degree? Like, oh, that's a whole nother podcast. We're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about that later. But the good thing is that he had a bunch of stuff over my house. And when he left, I only gave him the stuff that I wanted him to have. And so on one of these episodes, I'm going to show y'all all the footage of me taking all his shit back, because I found like receipts to like shoes and clothes that he had. And I like took all that shit back and bought a bunch of shit for myself. And he also he had a clothing line, and he also left a bunch of shit from his clothing line that I'm going to give away. Like I got girls gifts and I got men's gifts. And so most of the men gifts going to come from his clothing line. So thank you. So moving right along. So the whole to wrap the episode up, basically, I'm still figuring it out. I don't have all the answers. I'm still messed up out here in these streets. Comedy saved me. Thank God I have, to work, and I'm able to make money and do the thing that helps heal me, and helps heal other people and help other people. When I feeling sad, I go buy a ridiculous amount of high-end things, just because I can, and I'm always cute. And we're going to get into the report card session, and we're going to talk about being cute. So, like I said, report card session, which I kind of stranded it. Report card session is made up of my report card, 4 C's and 2 F's. And my report card is anything but average or failing. The C's represent Christ, cooking, comedy, and crafting. And the F's are for fitness and what's the other F? Fitness, food, faith. I don't even remember my own report card. See, y'all, I messed up. I can't think of what the other F is for. Fashion. Oh, duh. Yeah, fashion. So that's where it comes from. Kind of, fashion. Everything's kind of tied in. Sometimes the crafting and fashion are tied in. I let you all look into my closet, and I definitely have some great things coming up. I'm going to get some custom, even though we're getting into winter, I'm going to do some custom graphic tee cutting and give those. And we just got some great things to come. And we're going to do a couple of giveaways to a couple of special people today. So today's fashion from my report card, it's going to come from my little outfit that I have on today. You really can't see the whole thing. Baby, these shorts is so far up my booty. Listen, we in California, and it be like hot and cold. It's like the only place that you could go and you need your air for part of the day and your heat for part of the day. That's just how bipolar this weather is. And so it's perfect for these little hoodie short sets. And that's what I'm featuring today. One of the stores that I went to was Bottega, and I did get some of the Bottega sneakers. I did a survey if I should get the white or the pink, and everybody said get the white. So I got the pink. No, I just really love pink, and I just felt like the white, I may get them dirty quicker. And I just wanted to, I thought that the pink ones were fun. So for my fashion segment of the report card. Here is an unboxing of my sneakers from Bodega. I wasn't gonna tell y'all the color. I'm so dumb. Anyway, well, I told y'all finna see now. Anyway, we have the unboxing from my sneakers from Bottega, and how I put it together with my podcast outfit. I'm putting everywhere I got everything so you can get it. Like these bracelets I got from Iconic Londa. Ain't these amazing? I love these bracelets. It's a set of 9, so you can split them up if you want to. But I'm tagging everywhere that I got everything from. I'm carrying a cute little Chanel bag, and I am tagging my plug for that. And the two-piece came from the cutest little boutique that I love so much in Baltimore. And so I'm going to tag them. I'm going to tag everybody. So here is the video for fashion's portion of the report card. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So now I'm going to do a couple of giveaways. Oh God, hold on one second, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm so unprofessional. I'm going to do a couple of giveaways. We do have comical confessions, and I have some great comical confessions that I'm going to read, and I'm gonna do a live, and I'm gonna do all my comical confessions on the live. So the next episode will be a live episode. Maybe not the next, but I'm gonna do a live episode this week, and so I'm gonna go over a lot of the funny comical confessions that were written in, and I'm gonna do a lot of giveaways. But I definitely want to give some stuff away today. So I definitely want to thank everybody for commenting. And just because I don't read your name or your comment or anything doesn't mean that you're not going to get a gift. I'm in the process of going through all the comments and acknowledging everybody. So I want to thank everybody for your support and for your involvement. But right now, I just want to highlight, because I can't highlight everybody in the podcast because y'all won't watch it. It'd be like, damn, all she do is highlighting all the comments. But the ones that I am going to do, or a couple of people that just really stood out to me, and I want to let you know that I appreciate everybody. First is Minnie Davis. Minnie Davis, thank you so much for your support and your continued comments and love that you show. Thank you for pushing through. Minnie is also a widow. She lost her husband about 9 months ago, and of course, here at But Did You Die, Though Confessions of a Widow, we are sorry for your loss. But I want to acknowledge how proud I am for you. Proud I am of you for pushing through. So many of you are going to receive a But Did You Die Though pillow. And my team is going to contact you and send you the pillow and a couple of goodies. But thank you so much for your comments. And we continue to pray for you. And you are one of the people who I'm encouraging to look into widow camp and going to surround yourself with widows that can push you through. I think it was your sister who told you to watch. Maybe it's another person. I don't know, but I'm going to send you a gift for your sister too. Shout out to your sister for telling you to watch. And then the next one is my girl, Tia Smith. Listen, Tia Tia is a Carmenista. She's a diehard DYDer, and we appreciate you for continuing to watch. My goal is not to have a bunch of numbers because widows make a small percentage of the community. And even though this is not only for widows, everybody is not going to get into this podcast. Everybody's not going to watch it. Everybody's not going to feel it. Everybody's not going to care. It's not going to be funny to everybody. It's not going to be interested to everybody. I'm talking to a specific type of person. And so I'm not trying to get 10,000 views on YouTube. I'm not trying to get 100,000. I'm not trying to blow up and be rich. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to give people the understanding that they're not going through this alone. And so when somebody who's just down for Carmen listens to all this, who don't even have no husband or may not even have lost their husband, or I can't relate to a lot of things that they still watch because they're down for me, y'all, thank you so much. So Tia Smith, you got your cute little goodie bag coming too, mama. I got you. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. It's easy to watch, but it's hard to go and log in and subscribe. I know. Please subscribe. Please forward this to someone who may know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who may be able to benefit from this. And thank y'all for riding with me. I'll see y'all next time. God bless.